I know you are weary. I know you are scared. There's nothing I won't do for you. There's nothing I won't bear. The CT scan showed a tumor the size of a grapefruit on my mom's abdomen. The doctor wanted to operate immediately, and as soon as possible after that, start frontline chemo. She was 67 years old. I was headed to an extended gig in the Middle East. My 2 guitars and duffel bags sat on the floor of my New York apartment. I unpacked, repacked, and was on the next train home when she found out she had a stomach full of cancer. It was the last day that she was herself, yeah. It hit us like a hammer. Sometimes in life, you have a choice, and sometimes none at all. So I moved into my childhood room, and I put down my guitar. And I didn't pick it up again for another 1.5 years. I became my mom's primary caregiver, and getting her through each day took all of my energy and focus. The never-ending meetings with doctors, the labyrinth of medical decisions to navigate, not to mention her day-to-day care and side effects to manage. No, there'd be no more writing songs. But I kept notes of the songs I wanted to write. Should I ever get back to music or somehow find my way through this new landscape of loss? My mom felt guilty for getting cancer. She felt as though she was a burden on me and the family. And no matter how many times I told her that she wasn't, it wasn't her fault, it was like the words never sank in. Finally, eventually, she went into her first remission, and I got a few weeks to myself. I pulled out my notes, and I started writing songs. And that first song you heard, Nothing I Won't Bear, was yet another attempt to tell her that all I wanted to do was be there by her side. I got home, I played that song for her, and it was like the music and the lyrics went straight to her heart. We never had to have that conversation about her being a burden ever again. Let's do loss better. Loss is a thread that's woven through our lives. It's everywhere. How many of you have lost a beloved pet? Lost a job? Lost a close friendship or two? Maybe have a person in your life die, or know someone who's been through that experience. It's evident to live is to lose. There's no escaping loss, not our own or other people's. But let's face it, we do loss pretty badly. We don't know what to do and say when someone's going through grief. We just want to get through it and away from it. It's uncomfortable, and as soon as our life goes back to normal, the crisis is over, we don't think about loss at all. I mean, why would we? What are the consequences of doing loss so poorly? Among other things, people feel alone, bereft, like they're underwater. That's how I felt when I was taking care of my mom, especially as her illness wore on. It was like I was in some strange vacuum. People close to me going MIA. A lot of silence. Giving me space. Space? I'm going through the hardest thing I've ever been through in my entire life, and you're giving me space? I literally lost count of the number of people who came up to me and said, I really wanted to be in touch. I know you've been having a hard time with your mom, but I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to bring it up or make it worse. Bring it up? It was up. Make it worse? There's no way you could have. Listen, I too used to act the same way. Back before my mom got cancer, I didn't know what to do and say when someone I knew was going through grief. I wished I did. I wanted to be helpful, but every impulse I had felt awkward or off. I mean, should I send a text or an email? Is that appropriate at a time like this? What about Facebook? Facebook? I mean, maybe I'll screw up my courage and call them on the phone. And say what? My thoughts and prayers are with you? I don't pray, and at this point in our cultural conversation, that phrase is tired. What about doing something for someone? Everything I wanted to do felt intrusive. Sure, I'd mouth that sickeningly familiar phrase, let me know what I can do to help, as if that was a kind of helping. Full well knowing they'd never take me up on the offer. It was just another thing they'd have to decide. And who was I? Was I even close enough to them, a good enough friend to be involved at such an awful moment? No, I'd say nothing, convincing myself that at least then I wasn't making a bad situation worse. And then I'd let myself get distracted by my life, maybe even on purpose to avoid the whole scary topic of mortality. And it would all fade away until the next loss came around. Even in the middle of my mom's illness, when I was quarterbacking all of her care, driving her to the hospital week after week, sitting with her in the chemo suite for hours while the clear plastic bag dripped toxic liquid into the port on her chest, and I knew everything there was to know about the state of her heart and the state of her head and the state of her health. Even I sometimes didn't know what to do and say to my very own mother. That's where being able to write songs came in handy. I'm scared and you're brave. I'm free and you're caught. We're fighting a battle we've already lost. We are living every minute of your dying days. In the last days of my mom's life, a family friend brought over dinner. She didn't ask if she could. She just showed up. Walked through the front door, put 2 brown paper bags down on the kitchen counter, turned around and walked out. I bet this felt risky for her to do. She couldn't be sure how many people were in the house, what we liked to eat, were we vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or if there'd be enough food to go around. Let me tell you right now, that simple gift of showing up with food ready to eat was a godsend. It meant I didn't have to think about the rest of my day. My mom was actively dying. The hospice nurse said she'd be gone within 24 hours. We were glued to her bedside, my dad, my brothers and their families, and my mom's sisters. I was giving her morphine every couple of hours. We were wiping her forehead and the corners of her mouth. It meant that we could go downstairs when we needed to and wanted to and sit down together and have a meal. I'll never forget it. It was such a relief. And relief is all that a grieving person wants in this world. It helps make the unbearable bearable. I learned a lot from actions like these. There are simple things you can do to show up for your loved ones. Things that'll make them feel seen and supported. Because it's not about you and what you're worried about. It's about them and what they're going through. I've got 3 simple things I want to share with you tonight. Things that'll make them feel loved. These are the things that I once didn't know how to do, and through the process of losing my mom, I figured out how to do them. And now whenever anyone around me is going through something tough, I pick one of these 3 things and I do it. They're reliable and they work. So number 1, do send a text or an email or call and say simply this: "This must be so difficult for you. I can't imagine what you're going through. I'm sending you my love, no need to respond." You don't need to say anything groundbreaking here. Just be honest. Loss sucks and it's different for everyone. Speak to that. And be sure to tell them that they don't need to get back to you. It's a busy and strange time for them. Let them off the hook. They'll be so grateful that you did. Number 2, just go and do a chore or an errand for them, something simple. Don't ask their permission, just show up and do it. Take the dogs for a walk, fold the laundry, clean the kitchen floor, pick up the dry cleaning, take the kids out for ice cream. Just one act that gives them a moment of peace or a break from their busy time. I can imagine you're thinking, but I live so far away. How do I do that? You can figure it out. You're more resourceful than you know. Call a dog walking service. Call and get the dry cleaning delivered. Find someone who does live nearby and have them take the kids for the afternoon. You can figure it out. And number 3, make or buy a big mac and cheese casserole and drop it off at their house. They can eat it right then, they can put it in the fridge, they can freeze it for later. Listen, we all gotta eat, even those of us racked by grief. And if you don't live nearby, this one's easy. Call and get pizza delivered. I'm pretty sure there's a local pizza place or a Domino's within striking distance of every house on the planet. Oh my God, remember that time when you dropped off the casserole after my mom's funeral? I hated you when you did that, said no one ever. I even dropped off the casserole after my friend's dog died. Listen, it's been 3 years since my mom passed away. And at the end of her life, she was sent so many flowers. They were beautiful. They covered practically every surface in our house. But you know, one of the things I remember most of all was that chicken noodle soup and the pasta with red sauce that came out of those brown paper bags. Find the courage to show up for your grieving friend. It might feel awkward or like you're going to get it wrong. Risk getting it wrong. Don't dwell on the voices of doubt in your head. Just pick one of these 3 things and do it. Don't be silent. Don't be absent from their lives. Stop thinking about it. Just act. Your grieving friend needs you to. No, you can't fix what they're going through. You can't make it so the marriage didn't fall apart. You can't bring back the person they've lost. But you can show up for them in a real way that doesn't put the burden on them. Loss is all around us. And now you know 3 ways to do it better. You don't have to fight the good fight for me. What's it gonna take for you to believe me? Believe me, yeah. When your world's been blown apart, I got your back, I got your heart. You don't have to fight the good fight for me. We all know someone who's going through something tough right now. Go say something to them. Go do something for them. Maybe even something as intrusive as dropping off a casserole.